In this tutorial, you will learn about the Winlog MQTT driver. MQTT is one of the communication protocols of Industry 4.0. Unlike traditional protocols, MQTT adopts a publish-subscribe model, interacting with a third party called broker. This means devices don't need to know each other to communicate. They publish messages to specific topics, and any device subscribed to those topics receives the messages. MQTT offers 3 different quality of service levels, allowing users to choose the most appropriate level of reliability for the service they require, without having to sacrifice efficiency when unnecessary. MQTT supports TLS encryption to ensure end-to-end security. MQTT seamlessly adapts to various network environments. It is designed to keep working well in the future, no matter how technology changes. As required by Industry 4.0, MQTT facilitates communication between industrial machines, sensors, and systems. MQTT isn't just a protocol. It's the communication standard that drives the future of industrial automation and innovation. Now that we know what MQTT is and why it is so important, we will take a look at how we can easily include it in our Winlog applications. First, we have to set up our channel configuration. To use the MQTT driver, select MQTT3. The configuration window will open automatically after selecting a driver. You can also open it by pressing the Options button. To use this protocol, you will need to access a third-party broker that will receive and send messages to each individual device. All of them have different characteristics and must be set up in different ways. In this tutorial, we will use a public broker provided by HiveMQ. Let's go to their website and take a look at their broker. Here we can see the broker host is broker.hivemq.com. We can also see the TLS TCP port is 8883. This is the port we need to connect to because we are using a TLS security option. Since this is a public broker, we can't do much. For a real application, you will probably need a more powerful broker. You can find tutorials for the most commonly used ones in this playlist. You can also find the link in the description. Now let's go back to Winlog. This is the ID of the device running this program. It should be different for each device so that the broker can identify them correctly. Winlog lets you generate a random one automatically using this button. A clean session means that the broker will discard all information about the client after a connection is interrupted. Auto means that information will only be discarded if the subscription topics have been changed. Connection timeout is the maximum amount of time between a driver requesting a connection and receiving a response from the broker. If no response is received within this time frame, the connection is considered unsuccessful. Reconnection delay is the amount of time to wait before attempting a new connection. Keep alive interval is the amount of time between keep alive messages that are sent to the broker to ensure the connection doesn't break. If this box is checked, the channel will be put in the error state if the connection is lost for the amount of time specified in timeout. All of these are expressed in seconds. Winlog supports different security protocols for MQTT: TLS1, TLS 1.1, and TLS 1.2. The auto option picks the best protocol available that is also supported by the broker. This is usually the preferred option. The auto option also provides support for the SSL v3 protocol. Its use is dependent on the broker, thus it cannot be selected as a standalone option. There is also the option of not using any. leaving the connection unencrypted. CA certificate is a PEM file that can be used to verify the broker. It is usually provided by the broker host, or it can be downloaded from a public repository. This ALPN field is the identification string of the protocol to use if the broker supports ALPN extensions. These two fields all depend on what kind of authentication the broker requires. They will be explained further in the tutorials for the specific brokers that require them. The public IBMQ broker can be accessed without any identification. Topics are the strings of text used to identify messages. They are structured similarly to file paths, with nested folders separated by a slash. The topic prefix is a string that gets automatically added at the start of each topic name, and can be used as an easy way to distinguish topics used by a specific Winlog application. The publish pause is the time, in milliseconds, the broker will wait before being able to send a new message. Some brokers require a minimum amount of publish pause, especially low-cost ones. The publish timeout is the time the client waits for a response before concluding the message was lost. JSON selectors and templates will be explained later, when we explore JSON formatting. This table is used to store strings of text that can be referenced through the placeholder device text. The table line referenced by this placeholder is determined by the device number assigned to the port. Last will and testament is a message that is sent by the broker whenever its connection with the device is lost. The payload is the content of the message that will be sent at the specified topic. Which quality of service to use and whether the message should be retained can also be specified. Now we will take a look at gate configuration. Make sure the selected channel says MQTT3. Also make sure that gates which use MQTT are all set to never be sampled. In the gate's address, we need to put a string with the following structure: subtopic, subQoS, subformat, pubtopic, pubQoS, pubretain, pubformat. Subtopic is the name of the topic to subscribe to in order to receive the gate value. SubQoS is a number between 0 and 2 corresponding to the desired quality of service level. Level 0 sends the message once and never checks if it was delivered. Level 1 sends the message until it is sure it was delivered at least once. Level 2 guarantees that the message is delivered exactly once. Higher levels sacrifice some efficiency, so it is advised to choose them only when needed. Be aware that not all brokers support all QoS levels. Subformat is the message format that can either be str for string or JSON I, where I is the selector ID for JSON format. JSON selectors will be explained later when we explore JSON formatting. Pubtopic is the name of the topic to publish the gate value to. PubQoS is a number between 0 and 2, corresponding to the desired quality of service level. Pubretain is the retain flag, which tells the broker to save the topic message until the client comes back online. It is activated by the character R, otherwise it should be left empty. Pubformat is the message format that can either be str for string or JSON I, where I is the template ID for JSON format. JSON templates will also be explained later. If the gate value doesn't need to be received via MQTT driver, the subscription specifications should be left out, but the semicolon character has to be present. If the gate value doesn't need to be published via MQTT driver, the publication specifications should be left out, and the semicolon character can be omitted. The gate address can contain placeholders. The available placeholders are gate ID, gate NID, channel number, and device text. Number gates, digital gates, and string gates all work the same way. Compound gates cannot be subscribed to a topic. Therefore, only publication specifications can be specified in the address field. The semicolon should not be included. Remember to check the box to enable writing on device when configuring gates for publication. Now we will take a look at how to set up topics in JSON format. JSON is a data format designed to be easy to understand by both humans and computers. In JSON, you can define the following elements: strings, numbers, booleans, true and false, arrays, lists of elements, and objects, which contain other elements. Each variable is defined by its name in quotations, a colon, and the value itself. They are separated by commas. Objects are contained by curly brackets. Arrays are contained by square brackets. Values inside an array are also separated by commas. Let's assume we want to read the intensity value of the first light of the kitchen from this JSON structure. We will go to the channel configuration options and to the topics tab. Here we can find JSON sub-selectors. Since we want to read a value, this is what we need to use. There are a maximum of 20 different selectors we can save. For this, we only need one. JSON selectors have their own syntax. Element names are used to refer to elements. Dots are used to select a member of an object, and square brackets are used to select an item within an array. The number inside the brackets indicates the position of the item, starting from 0. Here, 0 refers to the first element in the lights array. Now, we only need to create a number gate and compile its address field for subscribing to the topic that will contain our JSON tree, as explained before. Make sure we put JSON1 in the address field. This tells Winlog that we want to use the selector number 1 from our selector list. Now let's assume we want to read the second light as well. Let's go back to the selector table. You might want to use a new selector, like this. If we want to be more efficient, we could use a placeholder instead, and use the same slot for both gates. Gate NID refers to the number ID of the gate. Now we just need to make sure that the gate we want to use to read the intensity of the first light is 0, and the gate we want to use to read the intensity of the second light is 1. The available placeholders for JSON selectors are gate ID, gate NID, channel number, and device text. Unfortunately, Winlog isn't able to publish values into complex JSON structures like the one we have been using now. However, it can still read them if you use some other device to publish them. Although limited, Winlog still offers the option to publish topics in JSON formats, as long as they only include the value of a single gate. We want to publish this JSON structure. We will go to the channel configuration options and to the Topics tab. Here we can find JSON pub template. Since we want to publish a value, this is what we need to use. Let's type our structure into the first slot, making sure to replace the actual data with the relative placeholder. Don't forget to put quotation marks around placeholders that will be replaced by strings. If we want to be more efficient, we can use the gate ID placeholder as well. The available placeholders for JSON templates are gate ID, gate and ID, channel number, device text, value, timestamp, and date time. Now we just need to set up our gate. Now we only need to compile its address field for publishing to the topic we want our data to be published in, as explained before. Don't forget the semicolon. Make sure we put JSON1 in the address field. This tells Winlog that we want to use the template number 1 from our selector list. If you want to learn how to set up a specific broker, take a look at our broker guide playlist here. You can also find the link in the description. Thank you for watching. For more information about Winlog, you can browse our site at www.cialcosistemi.com or send us an email at info@cialcosistemi.com. All the links can be found in the description. We will see you in the next tutorial. Have a nice day!